Hello, thank you to the Delaware Foundation for Math and Science Education for inviting me to join your conference and drop in, and to them for hosting a conference focused on this very important aspect of STEM education. My name is Ted Wells. I'm Vice President of External Engagement at STEM Connector, a national organization that began about 11 years ago in conjunction with the nation's rising awareness of the importance of STEM talent to fuel the vital needs of employers. I was a French and Spanish teacher before starting STEM Connector and up in Philadelphia. And between trips to Rehoboth and Wilmington through the years, I've become quite fond of Delaware. And I really am so appreciative of the work that you do as educators, having been one myself, and for your demonstrable commitment to your field by participating on this conference on what is a beautiful fall weekend. STEM fields represent a critical input into the process of innovation and are increasingly required across a growing number of occupations. The critical role of K-12 educators in developing this talent cannot be overstated. Learning is a lifelong behavior whose foundations are built early in one's educational journey. And rigorous research has shown that students who enjoy learning achieve at higher levels. Additionally, students can build connections to the world around them through learning, achieve better results than those that do not. Student and educator engagement is incredibly important to outcomes across the educational world, and especially in STEM. So where do we come in? My organization focuses on engaging employers interested in supporting and advancing equity in STEM. Our members include large employers like Walmart, Amgen, Chevron, et cetera, 3M, to help them understand the landscape, develop engagement strategies that are based on clear objectives, and implement those strategies. These investments take place at the primary, secondary, and post-secondary levels and are increasingly focused on upskilling and reskilling incumbent workers as well. We provide resources that help these stakeholders, as well as from industry, as well as the entire community, understand this landscape. Some of these resources include our State of STEM framework that helps understand the challenges impeding STEM engagement by creating a framework, which includes 5 gaps. Additionally, we develop evidence-based papers on high leverage practices that support students and teachers to understand incredibly powerful opportunities like work-based learning, or helping folks understand why it's so important to invest early in students' education. And we also develop data stories that help understand and explain complex phenomena with external audiences. Things like, why are women underrepresented in STEM? What does that look like? We also bring people together, and we brought our folks together this week for our annual summit, and it was our first in-person summit since 2019. And incredibly, we were fortunate to welcome the Deputy Secretary of Education, Cindy Martin. She was the former superintendent of San Diego Unified. And they actually launched a new STEM initiative that I believe will focus on will resonate with many of you, called You Belong in STEM, that focuses on improving student outcomes by promoting positive conditions for STEM learning and development. The STEM Connector will engage our members to support this and bring resources to support this notion of belonging for all students. I encourage you to stay tuned for more to come on You Belong in STEM. In terms of resources that we developed that might help you, we have a newsletter called the STEM Daily that shares stories about how excellence in STEM education. As I said, we do convene people for workshops focused on areas of focused shared interest in our member group. We host webinars focused on STEM equity. We've developed ebooks that showcase STEM careers and pathways in high demand industries. Some of these are food and agriculture, bioindustrial manufacturing, semiconductors, energy. All these can be found at our website at stemconnector.com. Additionally, we have a national network called Million Women Mentors that is focused on engaging women and girls in STEM through the power of mentoring. And believe it or not, our honorary national state chair is none other than your Lieutenant Governor, Bethany Hall Long, who I was fortunate enough to see earlier this week at our reception. It is critical that educational communities like yours develop intentional approaches to student engagement to support the most vulnerable students. And it means that communities must build partnerships between educational institutions, schools, out-of-school time providers, et cetera, that foster emotional growth, build communication skills, enable career exploration, and in many cases, ensure that basic needs are met. So articulating and prioritizing these needs is critical to ensure that collaborations can move forward. And this can be really hard work. It can be very challenging to make priorities, to make choices, but you have to. So I encourage you to bring that sense of pragmatism to making some challenging decisions as you allocate resources, but always have as your North Star this notion of equity and advancing STEM equity. So thank you so much for your commitment to education and to equity in education in STEM. It is commitment of folks like you that really make this all happen and give me hope that we're going to actually be able to improve outcomes. So leverage resources that are out there. Please feel free to reach out to me with questions or if I can help support your work. And I hope you have a great day. And thank you again for this opportunity.